Going to head down to the Register building in downtown Santa Ana for Orange County Register Mortgage Insider Matthew Padilla, who's standing by. Talk a bit about business. Big question for you. How is the demand for Orange County homes after all of this up-down stuff we've heard?
Up. It's finally up. Yay.
Yay!
It's up about 20% from a year ago, and it's close to where it was in April of 2006 when the housing market more or less was still strong. So that's a very good sign. As of last week, there were about 2,500 deals in escrow, so that's a nice round number.
Steve Thomas talks about, I think you call it market time benchmark. What is meant by that?
Oh, he just looks at the total inventory that's on the market and the pace of sales, and he does some math. He figures there's about 6 months. It would take about 6 months to buy all the homes for sale, and that's down from about 8 months a year ago. So it's one more way of saying, hey, things are looking up.
What area of Orange County do we find the hottest market at this point?
Well, this is the kind of interesting data point. It's more than half of demand, meaning deals in escrow last week, were for homes up to $500,000. So that is the lower end of the market. I mean, there are folks who would say $500,000 is still a lot of money, but still, what we're seeing, according to Steve Thomas, is that people see deals out there, and they are making offers.
What has changed? What has been the switch?
I think it's prices. Prices have come down. It's anyone's guess as to exactly how much, because what you see in the listing is not the same as the price when the deal actually is closed. But I think prices are down about 20 to 30% from the peak, and that brings folks out. There's also a lot more foreclosure properties, and folks are interested in if they can grab that for cheap.
Yeah.
Okay, foreclosures and short sales, but yet we still have an up market. Explain what's going on there.
I wish I could. No, something like more than a third of the inventory on the market is those foreclosures, or when folks have trouble paying their mortgage and they just want to do a cheap sale. What that really means is there's a lot of inventory to work through, and each time one of those deals closes, it's usually for less than what was paid for the home. So it's a downward drag on prices. But hopefully, eventually, we will work through all that inventory. There's something like 5,000 of these distressed properties on the market. That's like 36%. It's going to take a while, but we are getting there little by little.
Now, switching gears just a little bit, the Bank of America has made that offer to buy Countrywide. Now, all of a sudden, some of the analysts are saying Bank of America ought to back out. What's going on?
Oh, this is really interesting. It's been in the news the last 2 weeks because last week Bank of America said, hey, we're not going to guarantee we will pay debt of Countrywide, even though we're buying this, or supposed to buy them. B of A is one of the largest banks in the world, and Countrywide has been the largest U.S. home lender. These analysts say that if Bank of America buys Countrywide, it could see write-downs in assets of $30 billion. And to put that in perspective, Bank of America is only offering $4 billion to buy Countrywide. So there's a big gap there. The analysts say Bank of America should just walk away. I'm hearing talk, and I'm not sure how solid this is, that Bank of America will still do it. It might restructure the deal. It might create a holding company to own a Countrywide. So there's some space between B of A and this new mortgage bank that it's buying, but no one's really certain. So I would say, if you bank with Bank of America, don't worry about it. If you own Bank of America stock, pay attention.
Pay a little bit. And what about Countrywide?
Countrywide, they are hurting because their loans, they wrote so many loans at these 100% loans to value where you borrowed all the money. They did subprime loans, they did other exotic mortgages. Those are all going bad at very high rates. And interestingly enough, when Bank of America said it would not guarantee the debt of a Countrywide, a Countrywide has to borrow money to operate or expand. So it needs to have that debt there. And a rating agency immediately downgraded its debt to junk. That's Countrywide's debt to junk. And you don't have to be a financial whiz to know junk is a bad word. It basically means it will have to borrow money at higher rates.
Good. Folks can keep track of that with your Mortgage Insider blog on the Register. We thank you very much, Matthew, as always.
Have a good one.
Okay, thanks a lot, Matt.